Step into the 19th century, a time when America was a nation divided against itself. In the North, factories hummed with industrial might, cities swelled, and a new way of life was taking shape. But in the South, an agrarian society flourished, built upon vast plantations and powered by the institution of slavery. These two Americas, one industrial and free, the other agricultural and enslaved, were on a collision course. Deep-seated disagreements over slavery, states' rights, and the very soul of the nation simmered, brewing a storm that was about to break. The air was thick with tension, and the question on everyone's mind was not if, but when the conflict would begin. This is the story of how a house divided came to war, a war that would redefine America forever. The breaking point arrived in the chilly dawn of April 1861 in the harbor of Charleston, South Carolina. Confederate cannons opened fire on Fort Sumter, a federal outpost. Those first shots echoed across the land, shattering the fragile peace and igniting the bloodiest conflict in American history. The call to arms was sounded. In the North, men in blue rallied to preserve the Union, marching under the stars and stripes with a sense of duty. In the South, men in gray took up arms to defend their way of life and fight for independence under the Confederate battle flag. Brothers would soon fight brothers, and the fields of America would become battlegrounds. The Civil War had begun. The war raged across the country, a brutal saga of courage and sacrifice. Fields turned into landscapes of chaos and smoke. One of the most pivotal moments came in the summer of 1863 in a small Pennsylvania town called Gettysburg. Over 3 bloody days, Union and Confederate forces clashed in a battle that would become the war's high-water mark. The Union victory there was a devastating blow to the Confederacy's hopes. Amidst the fighting, another monumental shift was taking place. President Abraham Lincoln, seeking a moral cause and a strategic advantage, issued the Emancipation Proclamation. This executive order declared that all enslaved people in Confederate-held territory were to be set free. It transformed the war from a fight to preserve the Union into a crusade for human liberty, changing the destiny of millions and the course of the war itself. After years of relentless fighting, the once mighty Confederate Army was battered and exhausted. In the spring of 1865, the final act of this national tragedy unfolded in a quiet Virginia village. At Appomattox Courthouse, Confederate General Robert E. Lee, a figure of Southern honor and military genius, met with Union General Ulysses S. Grant. With his army surrounded and his resources depleted, Lee knew the cause was lost. In a humble parlor, he formally surrendered the Army of Northern Virginia. There were no grand celebrations, only a somber recognition of the war's immense cost. Grant's respectful terms of surrender aimed to begin the process of healing. The guns fell silent, and the long, devastating war was finally over. The Union had been preserved, but the price was staggering. The end of the war did not mean an end to the nation's struggles. The period that followed, known as Reconstruction, was a daunting effort to rebuild a shattered South and integrate millions of newly freed African Americans into society. It was a time of immense hope and profound challenges. But just as the nation took its first steps toward healing, a new tragedy struck. President Abraham Lincoln, the man who had guided the Union through its darkest hour, was assassinated just days after Lee's surrender. His death cast a long shadow over the reunification process. The journey to heal the deep wounds of war and truly become one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, would be a long and arduous one. The echoes of the Civil War would resonate for generations, shaping the America we know today. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past meaningful, please like this video and subscribe for more stories from history.